So, the wife and adult son are at the movies. I've got the house to myself. Oh my goodness. What troubles shall I get into? Hey Glue Troopers, Max and Max's Models here. And first thing, I got to work on the Chinook. Glue Trooper suggested so I was going to kit bash it, and we're going to call it Gunzilla. I should put the Monarch logo on it. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a Monarch markings from the legendary Godzilla series. And I played around with the paint scheme, came up with my own reimagining of a rather wild camo scheme, I think it is. I think it looks kind of cool for the Gunzilla Chinook. And a reminder, this is the old Aurora kit, and Jim gave me actually two of them, but one of them was a parts kit, so there were a few pieces missing. There were no clear parts. There were some of the parts for one of the rotor masses missing, one of the engine bullets was missing, and one of the landing gears. But pretty much everything else was there, so I'm using that to kit bash something. And I was playing around with all kinds of different designs, maybe putting some wings on it. The Army did have a winged Chinook. The Chinook has been used for a couple of specialty programs. I know you guys are familiar with Guns A Go-Go, and they had a winged version. This is going to kind of be a combination. But the biggest thing on Guns A Go-Go was the 20mm cannon and 40mm grenade launcher. Of course, it had rocket pods, but if I may paraphrase Young Frankenstein, 20mm and 50 calibers are tinker toys compared to what I plan to put on here. I was looking at maybe putting the engines on pylons, or putting the weapons on pylons, putting wings on it. I was playing, 3 engines, using that spare set of CH-54 Tarhe engines for it. Just all kinds of stuff. Playing with all kinds of ideas. It'll be a while before I settle on a design, but I wanted to get working on the paint scheme really just for kicks and giggles. And of course, speaking of Aurora Chinooks, I did finish the other one. This one is inspired by the Army prototype. It's not a nut for rivet copy, but it's pretty close. And it reminded me how much I hate working with red and white, because red shows up so well, especially on white, and the slightest bleed through or blemish, and it's like a beacon. But I did get it done, and this one is complete. I did have to use, except for neither one of the kits had the eyebrow windows, as I mentioned, so I did have to fabricate those. And I just used the canopy glue and stretched it over until it made a solid piece, and it glazed over, and actually doesn't look bad. So, it's an Aurora kit. I know these things go $300 on eBay, like in the box and new and everything, but that's for collector's value. Trust me, it's not a great kit. I say it's not a great kit by modern standards. It is exactly what you expect from mid-60s Aurora. So, I have no real complaints about the kit because it's precisely what I expected it to be. Tinkle goes the ice. So, with that on the shelf, I had this Collectaire resin X-20 Dyna-Soar. And super quick for those who are unfamiliar, Collectaire was a resin company. I'd heard they did really nice stuff, and I tried to get some of their kits because they make some obscure stuff, but they're pretty expensive. I think they've been out of business for a while, but they make some really cool stuff. Sadly, it's the vacuform kit companies and the resin kit companies that make that obscura that we like so much, because there's just not enough market for the mainstream. This only had 6 pieces to it, and not including the stand, so call it 7. Unfortunately, the decals are pretty far gone, but it was a very clean resin pull. I was very happy with it. Very little sanding at all needed, and I could have used some more putty on it, but it didn't really need it, and it was going to be black. And for those who are unfamiliar with the X-20 program, believe it or not, before the Mercury program, we were actually planning a 2-man space shuttle. They called Dyna-Soar for dynamic soaring. And it's one of the greatest programs that never was. That and MAL, the Manned Orbiting Laboratory, and a couple other things they had. But unfortunately, when the space race kicked into high gear, Dyna-Soar was going to take a long time to perfect, especially in the 50s and 60s, and they knew they could get a capsule system up much, much quicker, which is why they went with Mercury. And we could have been flying shuttles all along. Hey guys, I guess you could call this a fourth wall break, which is kind of the space where we live on this channel. But anyway, I want you to stop and ponder something for a second. This two-man shuttlecraft, a reusable spacecraft, was being designed in 1957 when cars still had tail fins but not seat belts. I just want you to stop and think about the things that people can accomplish when they work together for a common goal. It's really impressive. In a way, the argument could be that the space race actually held us back more than it propelled us forward, but that's an argument for another time. Whoa! I think the bourbon's kicking in. I did not mean to get this deep. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Did I say that right? And they gave you a bunch of decals, and it was weird. A couple of them laid down without any trouble, and then some of them completely disintegrated despite using a lot of the Restorer film. And a couple of them, they went on, but they just curled up, including the big X-20 Dyna-Soar logo that was supposed to go on the stand. It's just a square logo. I laid it down flat, and it curled up like a Roman scroll. So what are you going to do? And but that was a day build because, like I say, between CA, of course, resin use CA glue with the kicker, bonds instantly, and you prime it and then you paint it. And speaking of priming and painting, I basically, for the most part, finished the airframe on the Metropolitan, not Cosmopolitan. Oh, that would be a cool name for an airplane. The Cosmopolitan, no, the Convair 440 Metropolitan. And this is a Welch Models kit. And one thing I did different was with the F8C, to sand the horizontal stabilizers down thin enough that they're proportion right and not too fat. It's really hard to do because you're basically almost sanding a flat surface. It's hard to hold on to it, get it across the sandpaper. And I thought, you know what? What if I just, instead of using the top and the bottom, I just use the top and I fabricate the bottom either out of sheet styrene or just fill in the top piece and shape it with some putty. So I tried it about 4 different ways. I tried a mix of CA glue and putty, straight up CA glue. They all kind of worked. To do straight up CA glue, the gap sealer as a filler though, you have to lay some down, hit it with the hardener and let it fully cure and then add more. I filled it up one time and it was like a big blister. The CA accelerator did harden the outside, but you could push in and out on it because the inside was still liquidy. The putty also, it took forever for it to harden. And the one that worked best was simply filing it down, putting on a piece of 0.10 millimeter styrene, cutting it out, sanding it down, made a nice looking tail feather. And of course I put the flat part on the bottom because I'm not standing inspection with this thing. And it really sped things up. And then of course it was a lot of puttying and sanding to just, fill it, because vac kits just don't fit like a styrene kit. You gotta shape a lot of stuff. And it actually though came together and I was like, this is actually not looking bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. And I'm thinking to myself, just maybe I'll go ahead and put the wheels on it and see how that works out. And of course, I can just poke some holes in it, put the wheels in. If I don't like the way it looks, I can just take them out and put it on a stand. But I did, after I primed it, I did hit the top with white primer and then with pure white, because only the top of the fuselage and tail are going to be white. The rest is going to be metal. Then I clear coated it. I'm going to get it overnight to harden, and then I will, tomorrow I will mask it off and paint basically just the rest of it just in aluminum. And then it'll be a matter of putting the wheels and props on it and the decals. I don't know how they're going to hold up. I'm going to put some Restorer solution on them as a precaution. Hopefully the decals will work okay. A lot of these decals are pretty old. So a lot of progress made. And I have 2 other vacuform kits, not including the big ones that Ricky Wolf sent me a long time ago. I can't find one of them. It was some unusual airplane. I don't think I gave it away. It should be around somewhere, but I was looking for it today and couldn't find it. But I did find the other, which is a Martin B10. And I'm thinking, well, today I did vacuform, resin, and styrene, so I'm kind of hitting all the mediums. And I was playing with that Casadillo metal kit, so I'm like, hey, what do you know? All 4 different medium in a day. But I might just put this Martin aside and start working on it, you know, when I have nothing better to do. I wouldn't mind having a B10 in my collection. And I absolutely prefer styrene. This is not going to become a vacuform kit channel, but I have them. I'm kind of getting my groove on them. I want to get a little experience with them. A lot of you guys have given me a lot of great advice on them. And I'm not as intimidated by them as I was. And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to take a few of them on, was just so I would lose the same with the metal kit. I'll just lose my intimidation about them. I'd only built one metal kit before this Spitfire. But I got a lot of, God, I got so many projects going. And I know I'm just Captain Tangent. I start one, hit a dead spot, and off to another. Well, by the way, quick little bit of trivia. I did paint the blade tips yellow for the Army Chinook, but the Monarch one, I'm not painting them yellow because it's supposed to be like a tactical bird. These people know what they're doing. They're not going to run into the rotor blades. But I did put one white block on one rotor blade, one fore and one aft. And you guys might know, Mike Machat told us why rescue helicopters did that. One rotor blade got one white block on it. Well, those are single-masted helicopters the PJs used. And I just thought that would be a nice little addition. They did that because a lot of times in Vietnam, when they're doing their pararescue missions, it was really, really, really hard to see a camouflage helicopter from a jet. But with that one white block on the rotor blade, if the supporting pilots were to blink their eyes, it would cause a strobing effect and made it easier to spot the helicopter. So I thought, oh, that'll make a nice little touch. I was digging around for rockets, bombs, and engines today to put on the thing. So got my stuff. My dance card is definitely full. But I did get the X-20 on the shelf. It was just a quick little day build. And that's, Dyna-Soar, what could have been. All right, well, that's what I did today. So now let me get to editing this thing, see if this helps at all. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll put the unused pictures on the outro. As always, model on.
Saturday night, I'm in my chair, tiny wing in my tweezers, glue on my hair. Instruction sheet reads like ancient runes. Step 4 was easy, I skipped 1 through 2. Decals folding like origami, fingerprint right on the cockpit canopy. Masking tape peeled, half the paint, prototype weathering. That's what I'll say. I build planes, cars, tanks, and tiny people. Got a runway on my bookshelf steeple. Fuselage stuck to the cat's new tail, but I swear this time this kit won't fail. I'm covered in paint, but my wallet's fine. Cheaper than dating and cheaper than wine, so I'll stay home sniffing glue all night. These little plastic disasters are my big delight. Airbrush gods, they laugh at me. Orange peel finish on a new RV. Gloss coat puddles, matte coat shines. Silvering decals like frosted lines. One wheel short, the carpet ate it. Spruce shot somewhere, I'll just create it. Landing gear strong on the port side only, so my jet displays like it's feeling lonely. I build ships, trucks, tanks, and tiny heroes. Bank account hovers just above zero, but compare that tab to a fancy bar where they charge $10 for a glass in a jar. I'm covered in dust, but my mood's alright. Cheaper than dating and cheaper than nights of waiting in lines for a lukewarm drink. I'd rather lose one more photo etched part down the kitchen sink. Storage crisis, shelf two's bowed. Closet's just a secret hangar row. Bedside table, that's the car show stand. Bathroom counter is a desert sand. Guests come over aftermath. My buddy said, go out, meet someone new, dress real sharp, buy him dinner too. I priced one night of romance and charm, that's 3 big bombers and a farm. He came home broke with a mild regret. I dry fit a battleship, came out ahead. He bought cologne, I bought sprue cutters. We're both inhaling fumes, just different flavors. So raise your knife to the crooked seams, those sanding sticks and those half-dry beams. Raise your brush to the paint that runs. We're saving cash while we ruin our thumbs. I build trains, bikes, castles, and critters. All my exes think I'm bitter, but I'm just broke in a smarter way, buying tiny wheels instead of Chardonnay. I'm spotted with glue, but my heart's in sight. Cheaper than dating and cheaper at night than trying to charm some stranger's heart. I'll romance this 148 kit and call it art. I got a fleet on the fridge, an air wing on the chair, a rally car rally on the stairway there. House full of plastic, soul full of glee. I'll take a crooked canopy over therapy. So if you ask why I stay indoors with paint on my face and glue on the floor, I'll just smile, point to the shelf in shame, say I could have blown it all on love. Instead I built a plane.
My name is Max of Max's Models, and let's get to the video. Thought I might try something a little different tonight. I'm looking at the pictures up here, and I figure I can, instead of constantly changing these things around in the editing board, I will actually just narrate into the computer while I look at the pictures and then attach. You know what? You guys don't care. Let me just get on with it.